Hey, it's Saturday once again, so that means it's time to look through the book and tell you another story from my lighting design career. Chicka, 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 chicka. Ah, that is perfect. Today, let's tell the story of Jinan, Little Women, and focusing in. So, this story happened a few years back when I was in school. My friend Jinan was an incredible lighting designer, and he was a year ahead of me in classes. And so I got to learn and work with him a lot in the course of our schooling. He was a lot better than I was when we met, and so I had a lot to learn from him. Except he was so damn silly that it was almost impossible to get him to teach me anything. I'm joking. I'm totally joking here. Jinan was a wonderful teacher and a great friend to learn a lot from. When you are a lighting designer, you don't often get to spend a lot of time in the same room as other lighting designers because there's only one lighting designer on any given show. School is an opportunity to learn from how other people are pursuing the career, the art form, and how they make things work in a way that you never even thought of, that I never even thought of. So whenever I find myself around other lighting designers, I make an enormous effort to try to learn what they do and how they see, what their perspective is, and how they make their visions come into reality. Earlier on in my career, when I was a younger designer, I thought that you had to turn the lights on when you wanted someone to look at something. Whenever there was an important moment, I made sure to bring up the lights, either dim them on or flash them on to grab an audience's focus and attention. You know, the main character is entering in from stage right. So I tell the spotlight operator, hey, turn on the light as soon as they got on stage. There's like a big like aerial moment. Somebody's like hanging from the ceiling and doing cool stuff on like a aerial silks. I like flash lights on them and make the audience always look at them with these bright, flashy, strong lights. There's nothing wrong with that, but there are other ways to get the audience's attention. And I had not learned any of those other ways yet. So my friend Jinan had a design that semester for a show called Little Women. Little Women is a story about a family of women and how they care for each other, how they love each other, and how they live together through the years. No spoilers for the end, but for the most part, the story has always been a comforting story to me, a story of people who love each other and care for each other and live together and want to create a life that is good for them, despite society telling them not to. Society at the time had a really disrespectful view of women, especially women who were alone. And so this story is all about embracing womanhood and embracing the people around you despite what society says about them. There's definitely a lot to glean from that show, but to me, the biggest and most important thing is the familial closeness. But at the time, I didn't think that Little Women was a very good show at all. And so I was really disinterested. I did not pay attention to any of the process of the show, and I wasn't even really going to go see it. But then it ended up that I was in the theater before the show because all the lights failed and we had to run a new 150-foot Ethernet cable 10 minutes before the show started. And so, I found myself a seat for the show once we fixed the lights. And, once I sat down and got into the story, I was really interested. The actresses were doing a really incredible job. The lighting wasn't, flashy rock and roll type of stuff, but it was supporting the storytelling. It was feeling comfortable. It was feeling like I was at home. And that value is so important to this story. The real cherry on top was this final moment. Let's see if I can beat the rain. This final moment where there's the whole stage and they're just sitting downstage right on the couch. There's two of the girls and their mother on the couch and two standing above them, and they're all listening to their mother read a story. And at first I didn't notice anything changing, but then as I waited, I saw that my eyes started to focus in. All the lights away from the family started to dim down. And my eye was drawn in to that downstage right couch. Without adding any light, Jinan drew my eye exactly where it needed to go. He left the lights on where they needed to be focused, and he turned the lights off where they were unnecessary. But he didn't do it in a really harsh way. He actually did it subtly. He did it in a way that I didn't even notice because the fade lasted for 5 whole minutes. It was incredible. I didn't even notice that my eye was adjusting until it had already adjusted. It really taught me that focus and attention is all about context. It's all about what remains important as the extraneous parts of life start to fade away. The things that we're drawn to and that are important to us become more obvious as we continue to live. As we continue to invest time in things that are meaningful, we get that meaning coming back to us. And we start to focus in on not the stuff that's flashy and trashy and crazy, but at the stuff that makes us feel comfortable and at home. Ever since I saw that show, I have been trying to steal that awesome idea in everything that I ever do. Anytime I can subtly grab the audience's attention without screaming for it is exactly the type of story that I want to tell. So thank you to my friend Jinan for showing me that there's more to life than flash and trash. I am going to go enjoy this little rainstorm we're having. Thank you so much for joining me on this wonderful Saturday afternoon. I hope that you get caught in a nice romantic little rainstorm too, and that you focus in on the things that matter. Catch you next time. Share this video with a friend. This channel continues to grow thanks to viewers like you. Thank you.